Good afternoon. So I've decided to cycle back from a visit to some friends who live in Todmorden. So I've got myself a bit of a mixed surface ride back to where we live in the north end of Bradford. So I've come out of Todmorden and I'm on the canal at the minute, the Rochdale Canal. I'm taking this as far as Hebden Brisge, and then at Hebden Brisge the climbing starts. So that's when I'm going to climb up a real Pennine classic, up out of Hebden Brisge and then down into not Todmorden, Oxenhope, and then from there I'm taking back onto the going towards the Aire Valley. That's what I'm trying to say, going towards the Aire Valley, and then eventually down into Bingley, and then picking up the canal on the way home. So I hope it's going to be a good ride. This stretch of the canal runs parallel to the Burnley Halifax Road, which I think is the A58. Runs parallel to that, but this is much more pleasant if you've got the time and the tyres to come this way. Having said that, I don't think I've cycled this before. I've walked this many times, but I think this is the first time I've cycled it. There is just this thing that you need to be aware of, which is these little cobbled passages. Cheers. Went over one of those earlier and it really rattled. So just going a little bit more cautiously over those now. A little bit running through. So just coming down now into Hebden Brisge. If you went the other way on the Rochdale Canal, you can get to Manchester's 26 miles away apparently, according to a signpost I just looked at. So yeah, Hebden Brisge in the 60s was quite run down and dilapidated, but then some hippies moved in and it started to become a haven for hippies and an alternative lifestyle, and it's maintained that ever since, and it's just gone from strength to strength, and it's a really quirky, fantastic place to visit if you ever get the chance. So unfortunately the nice flat bit is coming to an end. I get to the Hebden Brisge Trades Club just down here, and then cross through the village, probably stop and get something to eat, and then the climbing starts. Hey, just on your right.
I don't know.
don't think I can put it off any longer. This is the Haworth Keighley Road, so it's quite a climb. So I'll get on with it. So this is the road that we've come up, and behind the house you can see hopefully you can see the valley where Hardcastle Crags is. And then if I just pan across here and follow this road up, you can see the road goes up, and then where the houses are, that's where we're going, up there. 2 miles to go. Just in a mile and a half, this looking down there on the village of Pecketwell, and then I believe if you follow the tree line down, then roughly, oh, you can actually see the cars, that's where I've come from. Down in the bottom of the valley down there, and turn left off to Hebden Brisge. You might be able to make out on the horizon straight ahead there Studley Pike, which is the monument that was put up, I believe, at the end of was it 1815, after the Battle of Waterloo? And then it was hit by lightning at the start of the Crimean War, the first day of the Crimean War. Just down from it, you may be able to see out on the right hand side, if I point there, there's a church spire, and that's the church at Heptonstall where Sylvia Plath's buried. So yeah, this is as we've come. I like this climb. I mean, the road is fairly busy, fairly fast, but there's not many cars on it, generally speaking, and it's a gradual climb. It's kind of our version of an alpine climb in West Yorkshire, so just nice and steadily plodding up to the top. Just a steady 3% at the minute. The road bends round to the right and then really opens up. So to start with, it was riding through narrow roads with lots of parked cars, and then onto a woodland stretch, and now it opens up to the moorland. So this is hopefully when the wind buff on my microphone earns its money. All $3.99 of it. So we'll just get round this corner. We've got just over a mile to go of this climb. But if you look at the grass on the side of the road, the wind, generally speaking, is behind me, which is fantastic. Just a chance for a breather, if nothing else. Just got a mile to go. Oh, this wind buff is just coming off. Oh, and I've dropped the bike. Oh no. Right. So, just a chance for me to get my breath back and just admire this amazing scenery. It's like I said, this road just goes up at a nice steady gradient. If I turn the camera around, you'll just see it's a nice straight steady gradient just stretching off along the ridge and then along there. So 1 more mile. Made it to the top. Might just get the bus home. Yeah, so again, down the valley, that's where we've come from, down, and then you can see this massive wild expanse of moorland. Up here on the right, I don't know whether you can make it out, but there's the cyclists know the elephant that's painted on the side of the building at the top of this climb, and just in the distance on the road you'll see we'll go past a Bradford council sign as we go from Calderdale to Bradford. And as we go over here, the views really open up. So that took me 48 minutes. It's probably the slowest ascent of that hill on record, but then I'm not here for records. Yeah, so there we are. I don't really know why there's an elephant there. I'm not sure if anybody who's watching this video knows, but there's an elephant and it's a great sight. Okay, so in Bradford Council, coming down towards Oxenhope now. Yeah, I think there was a big landslip here over winter and this road was closed for something like 12 weeks. Yeah, so as you sweep round this corner, that's the Worth Valley, going down towards Keighley, I think. Taking it nice and steady down here. Having come off at 25 miles an hour and been airlifted to hospital with 8 broken ribs, it does make you a little bit more cautious. The road on the right that goes up there is there's a cycling book called Lost Lanes, and that's in Lost Lanes North. That's an amazing ride. That this descent is on it, but you actually climb up and go on the top of the valley towards Oxenhope, sorry, towards Hebden Brisge, and then back on this road. Done it before and it's absolutely majestic, so it's one for another day. Down into Oxenhope now. I'm just starting to climb out of Oxenhope now. So the main climb takes you up to a pub called the Lamb and Flag, and it's horrendous. It's a really steep climb and there's cars parked down one side, and it can be really busy. So while no means flat, this alternative is a curiously named Dew Lane. As I say, no means flat, but not as bad as the alternative, and it brings you out of the Lamb and Flag as well. Yeah, it's called the Lamb Inn. I don't know where I got the Lamb and Flag from, but yeah, there it is. and there's Leeming Reservoir, which we'll get closer to, and then just over the right is Ogden Moor. Just ridden up the climb out of Oxenhope, and then this is the Dog and Gun pub. So I'm turning off here to the left. It's a bit of a relief really, because the road banks up steeply, but the Dog and Gun, if you turn left on Trough Lane, then it more or less flattens out. So you can see the moorland ahead of us, so that's the direction roughly that we're going towards Bingley. So it will be along this road down into Cullingworth, then through Cullingworth to Harden, and then Harden past the St Ives country estate, and then down into Bingley. I absolutely love this road. It's just so flowing. It's little rises, little turns, but for some reason it's as if someone's pushing you. It's just, I don't know whether it's the headwind, the tailwind I mean, but it just always feels effortless on here. It's beautiful. I just love that sound of the tyre humming on the road. You can hear that and not my breath. So we're just turning across the Halifax to Keighley Road and then down into Cullingworth. Ellison's Butchers is just on the left there, which make possibly the finest pork pies known to mankind. Brown Cow pub on the right, just coming over the bridge over the River Aire. Convenient stop just to swing the camera around, show the river, and Old Bingley over there. Onto the Leeds-Liverpool canal, just been past Bingley. I filmed a little bit earlier just by the Damart factory, just underneath 3 rise and 5 rise locks, and you could see all the algae building up on the canal. And that's because there's not enough water being put into the canal because of the drought, so they can't open the locks. apparently that needs quite a bit of water, so they're not opening the locks, the water's standing still, the canal boats aren't moving, and as a result there's this build-up of algae in the canal. So hopefully we will get some rain, not today please, but we will get some rain and get the canal moving again. So going in the direction of Leeds on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal here. We're just coming up to a place called Dowley Gap, where there's a lovely pub called the Fisherman's right at the side of the canal. Might be a few people sitting out having a post-work pint on a Friday. This is early September, first week that the schools have gone back. So yeah, here's the Fisherman just on the right. So we're just about to go over an aqueduct that takes the canal over the River Aire. If I just look down here on the left, you'll see the River Aire down there. So the canal goes over the river on an aqueduct. So this is called Seven Arches Aqueduct, and it was built in 1770, like a lot of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal. And we're just on our way towards Saltaire now. So I was distracted by a phone call and forgot to film coming through Saltaire. So I'll have to put Saltaire on another video. So the Leeds-Liverpool Canal is very different from the Rochdale Canal. A lot of the surface has been upgraded to this surface that we're riding on here, and while I prefer tarmac, I think it's quite good because it sort of crackles as you go along, so pedestrians can hear you. I mean, you need a bell as well, but it's just that added layer of, I suppose, audibility. So just past Shipley here, and there is a bridge here, this humpback bridge, which originally was built to allow the pack horses to cross over and go to the other side. And the reason why is that over there is where the spur went to Bradford. So the canal used to go to Bradford, the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, but it became so polluted with various unspeakable substances and animal remains and goodness knows what in it, that the surface actually used to set fire occasionally, and there was a campaign to have it closed, which eventually happened. So now you've just got this little dead end that goes round there from this bridge. So just on the last stretch of the canal now, before I turn off and head up through the woods towards home. So beautiful day. It was raining at lunchtime, so we've had some lovely weather here. Just up through the woods, back home. Just in time for tea. So I hope you've enjoyed this ride. I certainly have. And hopefully I'll catch you on another one soon. Thanks for watching.